Welcome to Good Neighbor Training. This presentation is one of 6 that you will be required to listen to and understand prior to moving into housing with supportive services through Charlotte Family Housing. At the end of the presentation, you will take a quiz to demonstrate your understanding of the material presented here. In this module, we will discuss defining what an affordable rent means to you, getting a sense of the amount of rent you can afford, and selecting the right neighborhood and home for your needs. The questions everyone wants to know are how much rent can I afford, and what is my total budget for rent? Affordable housing is defined as rent and utilities, taking up no more than 30% of a household's gross monthly income. Using the formula on this slide, we'll show you how to do a rough calculation of how much rent you can afford. Add up all of your income, wages, child support, SSI, or any other regular sources of income you have. Put that number on the top line. Multiply by 0.3. Put that number on the second line. Then subtract the estimate for utilities using the table on the right. Put that number on the bottom line. The bottom number will be the amount of rent you can afford. This number is different for everybody. Please note that if you will be receiving a subsidy, Charlotte Family Housing or the Charlotte Housing Authority will calculate this amount for you. Most low-income households spend more than they can truly afford in rent. Nationwide, 76% of low-income households spend more than 50% of their income in rent. You may have found yourself in this situation in the past. Looking back to the last slide, were you surprised at what your affordable rent was? The subsidy we provide will gap the difference between what you can truly afford in rent and a fair market rent for an apartment in Charlotte. Spending 30% of your income on housing will allow you room in your budget to save. Saving is a requirement of the Charlotte Family Housing Program and is one of the reasons we provide the subsidy. Just as affordability is set at 30% of monthly income, experts recommend that 10% of a household's monthly income go to savings. The first thing you are going to want to think about is the area of Charlotte you want to be in. There are several factors that will help you choose an area. Where do your kids go to school, or where do you want them to go? What are the fair market rents in the neighborhoods you are interested in, and what is an affordable rent for you? Do you commute by bus, car, or light rail? Crime and safety, and neighborhood amenities such as food shopping, laundry facilities, faith community, and proximity to your family and friends. We're going to talk more about these factors in the coming few slides. The first factor to consider is the proximity of your home to school or daycare. If you have kids in daycare, is the neighborhood you are considering convenient for you to drop them off and pick them up? If your daycare provides transportation, is the neighborhood within their transportation zone? If your children attend a magnet school or a charter school, there is generally a 5-mile transportation radius, meaning that you must live within 5 miles of the school. There may also be shuttle stops that you can use. Always check directly with your school if you are unsure. Most CMS schools, other than magnet or charter schools, serve a particular area, and you must live within that district to attend that school. You can look up schools for a particular address that you are interested in on the CMS website, www.cms.k12.nc.us, or by calling the Transportation Department at 980-343-6715. If your children are currently attending a CMS school, you will not be required to change their school in the middle of the school year. The McKinney Vento Act, passed in 1987, provides that a student in a homeless situation may stay in his or her current school, even if he or she moves out of the district within CMS. The school must arrange transportation for students experiencing homelessness, even if the student's temporary housing arrangement is out of the school district. Your children may stay in their current schools through the school year. If you move over the summer, Your children will start school the following year in the homeschool area where you have chosen to live. Always check directly with your school for specific guidance. The CMS website is a wealth of information. Each school has its own website, accessible through the CMS website, and you can learn about the school's statistics. CMS prepares a report card for each school based on student performance. With that said, nothing beats going to visit the school, talking to the teachers and administrators, and getting a feel for the school on your own. You have the right to interview the schools that you are considering for your children and decide if the school is right for your family. Statistics only give you part of the picture. Ask your own questions to make sure the school is a good fit for you and your kids. This slide gives an example of some of the proficiency target goals that are tracked for each school. These goals are measured through student performance on the EOG and EOC tests. These are some additional examples of data and school report card information that can be found on the CMS website. Fair market rents are the typical rents for rental units in different areas of Charlotte. Charlotte is divided up into 5 major areas: Uptown, East Charlotte, West Charlotte, the University area, and South Charlotte. There are also neighborhoods within those areas. For example, Wilmore, Dilworth, South End, or Amity Gardens. Different areas of Charlotte have different market rents. I am sure that it wouldn't surprise you if I said that you could put the same apartment in Uptown, in University, off Albemarle Road, or off South Boulevard, and it would be 4 different prices. The amount of rent you can pay, plus the subsidy, will be the total amount of rent that you can spend on your home. Whether or not you use public transportation will also be a factor in choosing a neighborhood. Charlotte's CATS system is what we call a hub and spoke system. The major bus lines go to and from the transportation center in Uptown. Think about what is a comfortable commute time for you. This is a very individual decision, and there's no right or wrong answer. Also think about what time you need to be at work, and then make sure you can catch the bus or train or drive there in a reasonable amount of time. If commuting by bus or rail, make sure that the first bus comes in time to get you to work on time. Same thing with daycare. Make sure that the after-work commute gets you home in time to meet or pick up the children. We have listed several helpful websites on this slide to help you figure out your commute times. We live in a city, so no one can guarantee your safety, but these are steps that you can take to make sure that you and your family are as safe as possible. CMPD's website provides crime statistics for each of their patrol divisions. There is no substitute, though, for going and looking with your own eyes. Some things to look for are: is the neighborhood well lit? Does the home you are looking at have bushes and trees that are cut back from the house so an intruder couldn't hide behind them? Is there a neighborhood watch group? We always recommend going to view the property at times of day when you would be at home. Is there ample parking? Is the noise level acceptable to you? What is the level of traffic in the neighborhood? I like to see a neighborhood with yard signs at election time. It doesn't matter if your neighbors are voting for the same person you are, but if they have yard signs, it means they are vested in the community. The final thing you will want to think about when selecting a neighborhood is the amenities and conveniences the area of town has to offer. Are there grocery stores nearby? Are there places for the kids to play? If you don't have a washer and dryer in your home, where is the nearest laundromat? How far away is it from your friends and family? How long will it take you to get to and from work? Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation. We hope that you have found this information to be valuable and that you are already thinking about the neighborhoods within Charlotte where you would want to live.